Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Wellness Talks in the Six. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about this idea known as radical acceptance. What is radical acceptance? Radical acceptance is the idea that you accept things for what they are and not for what they may seem or what you interpret them to be. So, let's go through an example. So, let's say, for example, you're in a relationship with someone you've been dating for many years, and one day they just say they no longer love you. Now, it's very devastating. No one is going to react potentially without emotion. You're going to be in pain for some time. However, the tool of radical acceptance allows us to accept pain and not turn pain into suffering. Now, the idea here is the event happened, the pain happened. There's no doubt that exists. This person left you. You were in love with them. You thought they could have been the one you married. You're very devastated. There's no doubt this is very significant. However, what happens is we can turn this episode of pain into suffering by how we respond to the event and how we continue to react. Do you take the first step and accept what happened? This person left you. Okay, it's terrible. However, let's think about the grand scheme of life. Will you be able to find someone else? Most likely. Are there other people out there? Most likely. The second part, and the part where radical acceptance tries to teach us to not go towards, is the path of non acceptance. And this is your girlfriend dumps you, you're in love, and you spend years, months, you don't try to get into another relationship, you don't try to go out there, you're hesitant because you're scared that you might get into another relationship and you might fall in love again, you might get hurt again. And what you're doing there is you're taking a painful event, this person broke up with you, and you're turning pain into suffering by not accepting. By not accepting, again, pain becomes suffering. The person left you, yes. You have all the right to feel the pain that exists because of that event. However, radical acceptance is saying you shouldn't, try not to go down the second route of non-acceptance, of should-haves. Oh, I wish there were a certain way. Accept reality for reality always. Now, if you start doing this, what are the benefits? Well, actually, there's a therapy called DBT. Stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. And radical acceptance is probably the core of DBT because individuals who suffer from anxiety and depression often are ones who do not accept reality for reality, and then you have pain turned into suffering. So, radical acceptance, in summary, is a tool to allow us to accept pain for pain by accepting reality for what it is. Now, why do this? Why accept reality? Now imagine the resilience you would have and if you accepted reality for reality and you didn't fight the events that happened. The pandemic has been a very critical juncture in our lives, and for many has been a time where this idea of radical acceptance has been in the most forefront because you either accept that this is the reality, there is this virus, there are these expectations for you to follow rules, to wear masks, to follow procedures of the government. You may have lost businesses, you may have lost money, you may have lost things during this pandemic, you may have lost relationships, you may have lost a lot of things. You may have been in trouble, you may have suffered from COVID, you may have lost individuals due to COVID. Now, we can accept that the pandemic occurred and is occurring and follow regulations, try to get vaccinated, wear our masks, or we can turn this painful event into suffering by doing the opposite, not accepting this pandemic exists, ignoring public advice, ignoring the public health advice, ignoring standard protocols. So ultimately, radical acceptance can change your life because you accept the events for what they are. You don't interpret them, you don't add meaning to them. It is what it is. And therefore, because you accept reality for what it is pain and not turned into suffering. So I hope you benefit from this tool, again, called radical acceptance. Hope you enjoyed this. Like always, like and subscribe. Thanks so much.